Okay, welcome back students to our maths class. As I have told you earlier that for exercise 3.3 I will be sending you a explanation video. So here the explanation video is there for you. As we have left one single page for question number 1 and 2 in our notebook, so for question number 1 and 2 you have to write down these questions in the notebook. Okay, I will be solving this question in the textbook only, but you have to write down this question answers in your notebook. So let us start. Exercise 3.3. Now there is one question given that use the bar graph, that is figure 3.3. So this is our figure 3.3 to answer the following questions. Now first, before answering the questions, let us make clear that this is the graph given, and whenever a data is given to you, okay, the data which has been provided to you, when this data is represented in pictorial form or it is represented as a picture, it is represented as a graph. In 6th standard also you have learned the graphs. In 8th standard also you are going to learn the graph. This year you will be learning bar graphs. Bar graphs already you have learnt in 6th standard, and one more bar graph you are going to learn this year is double bar graph. In question number 4 there is a double bar graph. In question number 5 also there is a double bar graph, so that you are going to learn. So first let us see what is the data provided. Now the data provided, raw data, can be arranged and then represented in a pictorial form, so that from this graph also we can analyze the data very easily. Now here this is the horizontal line, this is called as x-axis when the graph is drawn, and here this is a vertical line, this is called as y-axis. On the x-axis pet animals are given. There is a group of students in a school, they like some pet animals, and which animals they like, so the animals are represented on the x-axis: dogs, cats, rabbits, hamsters and others. And here students is given, that is number of students: 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 and 12. Let us see. First we will see the dogs. Now if you see the bar graph of the dog, it goes up to 8. This means that 8 students like the dogs as pets. For cats you can see that the bar graph is going up to 10. This is the 10 figure. This means that 10 students like the cats as their pets. Rabbits, 2 students. Hamsters, it is between 4 and 6. So we can say that 5 students like hamsters, and others it is between 2 and 4. So we can say that 3 students like other as pet animal. So question A, which is the most popular pet? Now you can see that cats, it is liked by 10 students. So we write our answer, I am writing here, we write our answer here as cats. So cat is the most popular pet in the school or among the students. Second one, how many students have dog as their pet? So dog is liked by 8 students. So we write down here 8 students. Okay, 8 students. So then very simple. So with the help of this graph we can easily find out the questions, we can easily find out the answers, or we can easily find out the answers to the questions given. Anything, suppose another question is asked about hamsters. How many students like hamsters? So the bar graph is between 6 and 4. So we can say that 5 students like hamsters as a pet. And this is how question number 1 ends here. No need to worry, don't write in your textbook. I will send you the notes for this when the video is uploaded. Okay. Second question. Read the paragraph that is figure 3.4. So this is figure 3.4 here, which shows the number of books sold by a bookseller during a bookstore during 5 consecutive years, and answer the following questions. Okay. So again we have to see the bar graph. On the x-axis years is given, on the y-axis number of books sold by the bookstore is given. Now here it is starting from 0, 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600. This means that 1 centimeter, now you all know graph book, so 0 to 100, this much is 1 centimeter. So 1 centimeter represents 100 books, then 200 books, 300 books, 400 books, 500 books, and 600 books. So this is how, this is called as scale taken on the scale taken on the graph book. When you go to the 8th standard, in the 8th standard you will be learning different types of graphs. Here we are learning only 2 types of graphs, that is bar graph. You already have seen this in 6th standard. Now double bar graph, how we draw the double bar graph. Then in 8th standard there will be a pie chart, histogram, line graph, and another type of graphs you are going to learn during the when you go to the 8th standard. Okay, so now which years are given here? See here, the first year is 1989. Now if you take a scale, in this graph lines were drawn, so it was easier for us to find out the figures. But here there is no lines drawn, so we can take a scale and we can find it out. Now here this 1989, it is just below 200. It is just below 200. Suppose you take 1990, it is exactly touching 500. It is exactly touching 500. If you see 1991, let us take a scale and see, it is exactly coinciding with 300. Here is the 300, it is exactly coinciding with 300. If you take 1992, let us check. 1992 is in between 300 and 200, but it is near to 200. It is near to 200. 1990, it is between 400 and 500, but near to 500, somewhere here. Okay, and one more is there, 1993. So 1993, due to binding, it is not able, we are not able to see this. So in 1993, if you try to see, it is between 500 and 600 somewhere. Okay, now we have to answer the question. Total 4 questions are there. So let us start answering the questions. First question. Okay, this is question number 2. Question number 1. About how many books were sold in 1989, 1990 and 1992? So in 1989, between 100 and 200. So it is more than 150. If you take this center mark, it will be 150. So it is above 150. So we can say 175 books. This will represent 175 books. Okay, so in 1989, 175 books were sold. In 1990, if you see 1990, it is between 400 and 500. It is somewhere here. It is nearer to 500, but not near, more than 50. So again, less than 500, but more than 400, 450. So we say approximately 475 books were sold in 1990. And next they have asked in 1992. So 1992, again we will see in 1992, this is 91, this is 92. Okay, in 1992 it is between 200 and 300, but it is somewhere here nearer to 200. So it is less than 250. We say approximately 225 books were sold in 1992. So in 1989, 175 books, in 1990, 475 books, and in 1992, 225 books were sold. In which year were about 475 books sold, about 225 books sold? So already we have answered in 1990 and 1992. These 2 years, 475 and 225 books consecutively were sold. Okay. Third question, in which years were fewer than 250 books sold? So fewer than 250 books. In 1989, 175. Let us check 1991. Okay, in 1991, 300 books were sold. We will write it down. And in 1993, In 1993 it is somewhere, let us say 575. Okay, 575. So fewer than 250 books were sold only in 2 years, 1989 and 1992. Okay, now one more question they have asked here. Can you explain how you would estimate the number of books sold in 1989? So we have to give the answer that how we are estimating that in 1989 175 books were sold. Now in 1989 the bar is between 100 and 200, but it is nearer to 200, therefore we approximated it to 175 books. Okay, we approximated it to 175 books. So this is question number 1 and question number 2. Again, these are also simple questions, only observation is important. If you observe the graphs carefully, we can answer the questions related to graph. So now we will stop here for question number 1 and 2. These both questions you will be solving in your notebook. I will be sending you the notes as the video is uploaded, and then question number 3, 4, 5 and 6 you would be drawing these graphs and answering the questions in your graph books. Okay, please do not use graph papers, we will use graph books only. So let us start with the graph book now. Okay, so we are going to start with the graphs. Now you can see that on my graph paper, in my graph book, I have drawn two lines here. Okay, from below I have left this line and this line, and I have drawn a line here, and I have named this as x-axis. Clear? Okay, now here the same type, here I have given this as y name. So these are called as two axes, x and y axis. Okay, so these, on these two lines we are going to draw, between these two lines we are going to draw our graph. This point, intersection point, this is called as a 0. So this will be our marker 0. Here every time, means maximum time here 0 is there. If we have an appropriate scale, then on here there will be 0, and on y-axis there would be let us see, on y-axis also there, this is for y-axis also this is 0, for x-axis also this is a 0 marking. In some of the graphs, sometimes if you don't start with the 0, here one marking is done so that this is not starting with the 0, or in between some more numbers are there, but every time this intersection will have, almost every time it will have a 0 as the marking. Okay, so this is 0. Now x-axis and y-axis is there. When we have to determine, there are two types of terms while drawing the graph. First is called as, there are two types of quantities while we draw the graph. One is called as independent quantity and another one is called as dependent quantity. Okay, so independent quantity will always come on the x-axis, which is not dependent of anything. Independent is not dependent of anything, so those values will always be on x-axis, and dependent quantities will always be on y-axis. You can change it, but according to mathematics, independent quantities are on x-axis and dependent quantities are on the y-axis. So in this question, that is question number 3, number of children in 6 different classes are given below. So 6 different classes are given: 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th and 10th. While you are seeing the video, I would request all of you to please open up your textbook and simultaneously look into the questions. So we have to represent this data on a bar graph. Now in 5th standard, number of children is 135, 6th 120, 7th is 95, 8th is 100, 9th is 90, 10th is 80. Now class, this is independent quantity. Class is an independent quantity, and number of children, it is dependent quantity. Okay, So number of children will be on y-axis. So here we write down number of children. Okay, and on x-axis we write down class. We write down class. Okay, so here would be the classes, that is 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, and here would be number of children. Now the first thing when you draw a graph is to choose a scale. Our scale will start from 0. Now here in the textbook, if you see that 135 is the highest value. So while plotting the points on the graph, we should take care that our value should lie between 0 and 135. So we have to take a number more than 135, say 140. If you take 1 centimeter from here to here, it is 1 centimeter. So if you take this as 10 students, then here would be 10, 20, 30. While choosing the graph, we should be very careful that it should not be very long and it should not be very short. It should not be very long and it should not be very short. Okay, so what we will do, this is our first time, so we will take 1 centimeter equals to 10 students. So here 0 is there, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, 120, 130 and 140. Okay, so this won't be too long, it would be in our graph book only properly. So we will take 10 here, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, 120, 130 and 140. So this we have drawn here. So our values lie between 0 to 140. And why 140? Because 135 is the maximum, and so this would be between below 140, between 130 and 40. So 135, more than 135 we have to take the values, therefore we have taken it up to 140. Okay, done. So this much we have done. Here classes are there. Now the first class is the 5th class. Okay, so here we can write down 5th. This much will be the 5th. Here would be the 6th. In this much would be the 7th. This much would be the 8th. These two blocks would be for the 9th, and these two blocks would be for the 10th. Done. The 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, these much markings we have done. Now in the textbook for 5th standard 135 they have given. So directly from here we will go to 130, and between 140 and 130 there is a middle point. So here would be 135. So what we will do, we will draw a light line here, somewhere here, not somewhere here, but here would be 135, and we will take a scale and we will join these points. Remember that this is 1 centimeter, between this only your line should be, your bar should be there. So up till here 135 is there. I will share the pictures of these also with you. So the first graph for the 5th standard 135 students we have drawn. 6th standard 120 students. 120 is directly here. So here is our 120. For 6th standard we will draw a bar graph here. Done. So in 6th standard 120 students are there. We can see here 120. In 7th standard 95 students. So 90 and 100, between 90 and 100. So here would be our 95 exactly in the center. So for 7th standard 95 students. Done. 95. 8th standard 100 students. Directly we have 100. So 8th is here. And done. Our 8th standard bar graph is also drawn here. Now 9th standard 90 students. Here is 90. I'll mark the line here. And 10th standard 80 students. So here is 10th standard. So I have drawn this. Now only thing is that I should join these lines or draw the bars up till there. Done. Our bar graphs are drawn. See here, you can see that equal distances are there between the graphs and equally very neatly and very straight lines have been drawn. So this is the way your bar graph should be drawn. This is the pictorial representation of bars or of the data. So and we have to answer that those questions. Now first question is, how would you choose a scale? I will, when you draw the bar graph here on this side paper, here there is a lining paper. So bar graph is drawn here. The answer should be written here. Understood? So I will write down the answers also. I will send you the pics. I will just explain you how we are going to write down the answers. How would you choose a scale? That answer I will write and give it to you. And then B question. Answer the following questions. Which class has the maximum number of children and the minimum? Here we can see the tallest bar is of 5th standard 135 students and the shortest is of 10th standard 80 students. Which class has the maximum number of children and the minimum? Done. Second question, find the ratio of students of class 6 to the students of class 8. Now in class 6, in order to find out the ratio, I will just show you how we are going to find out here. Second question, you can write here with the pen also, no problem. So number of students of 6th equals to, now ratio and proportion is, there is one more chapter in our book. When we are going to find out the ratio and proportion, that time you will come to know how we find out ratio and proportion. So number of students of 6th standard is equals to 120. Number of students of 10th equals to 80. Okay, so what the question is, find the ratio of students of class 6 to the students of, sorry, not class 10th, class 8. So for 8th standard, okay, in class 8 100 students are there. Now in order to find out the ratio, 100 students are there. In order to find out the ratio, therefore ratio is, when we find out the ratio, we give this sign 120 colon or as to, this is read as to 100, and this is nothing but it is only a division sign, 120 upon 100 or 120 divided by 100. So this 10 and this 10 gets cancelled. Now this 2, 12 and 10, they are divisible by 2. 2 5s are 10, 2 6 is 12. Now this fraction cannot be reduced, so we say that the ratio is 6 upon 5. This equals to 6 as to 5. Okay, now it is clear. So the ratio is 6 upon 5. This equals to 6 as to 5. Now the original ratio was 120 as to 100, but the ratio is 6 students to 5 students. That means in 6th class, if there are 6 students, then the minimum number of students in the 8 would be 5. So we say that this is the ratio 6 as to 5. No need to worry, I will send you this pictures also, this notes also, this side also, and this side also. So be very careful while completing the notes. We stop here only now.